After weeks on the road, through volcanoes, mountain passes, coastal highways and tiny towns, we finally made it to Queenstown. It's a place that's more than just a destination. It's the crown jewel of the South Island. In this final episode, we soak up everything this alpine paradise has to offer, from wandering the vibrant lakeside streets and tasting some of the best food we've had on the trip so far, to stepping outside the city and diving into the history of Arrowtown and driving through the vast open spaces to the orchards of Cromwell. It's the end of the road, but not without one last adventure. This is Queenstown, and this is the last stop. Waking up in Queenstown, it's hard to describe just how special it felt opening the curtains that morning at the Crow's Nest. Towering mountains, glassy lake, and the crisp alpine air, the kind that instantly makes you feel awake and alive. It was one of those rare moments where you don't just see the view, you feel it. We had a big day ahead of us, but first, a bit of exploring through Queenstown's vibrant centre. The streets, the lakeside walks, the local spots that make this place feel alive. And then something a little more adventurous, adrenaline fueled. The Shotover Jet. Let's just say we were about to get very wet. Queenstown is one of those towns where every corner feels like a postcard. The lake, the buzz of the cafes, the sound of the buskers drifting down the alleyways, it's got that laid-back energy that makes it almost impossible not to smile. We wandered through the centre, grabbed a coffee by the waterfront and just soaked it all in. It's a place that feels both small town cozy and world stage epic at the same time. But we couldn't take it too easy, because next up we were heading just outside of town for something a little wilder, the Shotover Jet. I don't think we were fully ready for how intense this was gonna be. Queenstown hasn't always been the adventure capital of the world. Back in the 1860s, this place was ground zero for the Otago gold rush. Miners flooded in from all over the world, chasing fortune in the nearby rivers and mountains. What started as a rugged gold settlement slowly grew, shaped by the wild surroundings and that frontier spirit. Over time, it transformed from gold pans and pickaxes to gondolas and ski lifts, and of course, jet boats. These days, Queenstown is a magnet for thrill seekers, food lovers, and anyone craving a taste of something epic. But under all the buzz and adventure, there's still that feeling of discovery in the air, just like it was back in the gold rush days. We didn't just arrive at the Shotover Jet. We earned it. After grabbing a coffee in town, we were picked up by one of the company's little shuttle buses, all friendly smiles and upbeat music. But that vibe changed very, very quickly. Because to get there, you had to drive deep into the mountains, twisting through narrow cliffside roads with sheer drops to one side and rock faces on the other. It's known as one of New Zealand's most dangerous roads, and as we climbed higher, with tyres edging closer to the gravel's edge, I started wondering if the real adrenaline rush was just getting there in one piece. But we pulled up to the base and saw that the river was slicing through the canyon, and nerves gave way to excitement. The Shotover Jet isn't just a ride, it's a blur of speed, spray, and scenery so stunning it barely feels real. And the footage we captured here, it might just be the best of the entire trip. Safety first. Flattering. There it is. That's the jet boat. And this is the canyon river we're going to be doing it on. It's going to be a hell of a thing. And that's the bus we come down on. Very bumpy. Now, when people say you have to do the Shotover Jet, they are not kidding. It's one of Queenstown's most iconic experiences, and for good reason. Strapped in, white-knuckled, and already questioning our life's choices, we took off, skimming across just inches of water, blasting through the canyons that felt way too narrow to be doing 80 kilometers through. And then, 360 after 360, soaking wet, slightly screaming, but absolutely loving it. It's the kind of thrill that leaves you buzzing for hours. Queenstown doesn't do things by halves, and neither does the Shotover Jet. There's nothing quite like being strapped into a boat, surrounded by strangers in waterproof jackets, silently pretending we're not all mildly terrified. The driver flashes a grin, which in hindsight is probably less reassuring and more of a warning. And then we're off, hurtling through the canyon at ridiculous speeds, dodging rocks that feel way too close for comfort, and spinning like a theme park ride that is designed by someone who hates your inner ear. And at this point, your options are simple: scream, laugh, or just hope that your camera doesn't go flying off into the water. And somehow, it's brilliant, terrifying, completely unnecessary, but absolutely brilliant. Getting absolutely soaked and slightly traumatized by the jet boat, we were starving. The plan, Fergburger. It's got a cult following online, and we were keen to see what all the hype was about. But as we got closer, the hype was very real. A queue around the block, easily 30 to 40 people deep, all waiting for a single burger. So we pivoted. And honestly, it was the best decision we could have made. We ended up eating at a little spot called Ramen by Tonoshi. And the food, next level. Rich broth, perfectly cooked noodles, tender pork. It was the kind of meal that hit every spot after a day like we just had. And it might not have the internet fame of Fergburger, but in our books, it was a serious win. As much as we loved Queenstown, there was one more place calling us back: Awaraki, Mount Cook, and the airport of disappointment. If you've seen the previous videos, you'll understand why I call it that. This time though, we weren't just admiring it from the base. We boarded a small plane and flew right to the top of the glaciers. Standing up there, surrounded by endless snow, jagged ice, and complete silence, it felt like another planet. We walked across the glacier, soaking in the altitude and the scale of it all. It was one of those rare moments where time just stops And the best part, we didn't even have to climb it. After exploring, we took the most epic way down imaginable, a helicopter ride, weaving through the mountains with views that almost didn't feel real. Easily one of the best mornings of the entire trip. That's it, we're on top of a glacier. I forgot what the name was, he did tell me, but look at this. That's what we came in. That flight was proper scary, bumpy as f***. Worth it though, because this place is amazing. Because we can't fly a drone, we just became the drone. There's Sam.
Hi.
But they said you need to wear a jacket, like a cool jacket, but nah. This is...
It's quite warm actually.
It is warm. Incredible. Not every day you get to stand on top of a glacier. No. This is amazing. I would definitely say to anyone, if they said, would you recommend it? My answer to that is 100%. You should definitely do this. Oh no, there's a crack in it. Is that dangerous? Look. It's dangerous. I feel like it's falling apart. But yeah, definitely do this. Highly, highly recommended. It's a bit dodgy in the plane coming up, but it's fine. You can get a helicopter as well. I don't know how that works. I think you just pay for it and you either get the plane or the helicopter.
We get both.
Do you? Oh, right, okay. Oh, right, okay. By the sounds of it, we're swapping around. Sam knows. I should have listened. But look at this. Oh, there's another helicopter. There. Has landed, which is pretty cool. But this place was pristine. Look how clean all that snow is. We come along and ruin it. My feet are getting very cold.
Yeah?
Because I'm like... The Glacier experience is one of those bucket list moments that sounds a bit over the top until you're actually there. We went with a company called In-Flight, and that includes a scenic flight up and a guided glacier walk and of course a helicopter ride back. Not a bad way to spend the morning, of course. Price wise, you're looking at around about £200 or sort of 400 New Zealand dollar per person, which definitely isn't cheap. But honestly, it feels like one of those rare times where the cost actually matches the experience. Once you land, you're out on the glacier for around about 45 minutes, looking through the surreal ice formations and the deep crevices in the distance. There's no traffic, no buzzing, just a crunch of ice underfoot and the occasional wow from someone realizing their phone has no signal. It's not something you do every day, and honestly, it might be one of the most peaceful places I've ever stood. However, If you just want the views without the walking, there are scenic flights only. Some include glacial landings, some don't. Still stunning, but a bit more passive. And then there's the ice climbing tours where they hand you ropes and let you climb up frozen walls. Ideal if you've always wanted to feel like a National Geographic presenter or fall over on camera. No matter which one you go for, there's one thing that stays the same. The silence, the scale, and the weird feeling of being somewhere both incredibly peaceful and totally alien. After the Glacier walk and that unbelievable helicopter ride, we were back on the road heading toward Queenstown when we spotted something totally unexpected. A lavender farm right off the side of the road. Now, we've got a few back home in the UK, but nothing like this. Rows of vibrant purple stretching into the hills, the smell of lavender in the air, and of course, ice cream. Honestly, it felt more like something out of a postcard than a pit stop. We didn't plan it, didn't expect it, but ended up being one of those little gems you just find when you're not looking. A sweet surprise in every sense of the word.
3 random chairs. It's very suspicious. It's actually quite terrifying. I'm going to sit in one because I can. Dusty. Oh my god, they're a bit small. I just jabbed myself in the leg. Oh man. This is by far one of the best ice creams I've ever had. Great way to, look at my hair. Oh, no. It's a great way to just come off the planes and the helicopters. It's quite the way to, you know, split the day up. Bit of good ice cream. If you get the chance, definitely get it. Lavender Farm, incredible.
After getting back from one of the most unforgettable experiences of my life, we did the only thing that made sense. Headed back to the crow's nest, kicked back, and just sat with it all. Sometimes after a big moment, you don't need more noise. You just need to let it all sink in. Later that evening, once we'd recharged, we wandered back into town for dinner.
We're currently at a bar called Flame, and it is a South African bar. And right now, Sam is in her element, and so am I actually, because I'm about to have Guinness. Look at the menu though. Holy, it is extensive. And on the menu it talks about information about a braai and the South African traditions, which is, if I'm honest, pretty cool. I can't say it's bad because my girlfriend is South African, so I'll get beaten up. So it's amazing, honestly. I'm joking, it is amazing. The food in South Africa, like the way they cook it, everything is incredible. So this is going to be quite the treat. Another seafood chowder, can't be bad. Sam's got spiciest prawns. Actually called Mozambique prawns. Apparently, they actually look really good, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie. But this looks better.
From the flame grilled meats to the bold smoky flavours, every bite was a knockout. It wasn't just dinner, it was a full-on event. Queenstown really knows how to do food, and this place, it might have just been one of the best meals of the entire trip.
Oh, it's not another step. Bro.
The next morning, with the skies clear and the caffeine levels restored with a huge can of V, we hit the road again, this time heading out to Arrowtown. Just a short drive from Queenstown, but it feels like stepping into a different world entirely. Once a booming gold rush town in the 1800s, Arrowtown has been kept in this old worldy charm. narrow streets lined with wooden cottages tucked beneath the canopy of trees. It's a peaceful, quiet and beautifully preserved place. We wandered through the historic heart of the town, checked out the old Chinese settlement and just took our time. No rush, no noise, just a slow, golden morning in one of New Zealand's most charming little places. Arrowtown's story began in the 1860s when gold was discovered along the banks of the Arrow River. Almost overnight, it transformed from a quiet valley into a booming gold rush settlement, drawing in miners from across the globe, especially a large wave of Chinese workers who built their own riverside village just outside of town. At its peak, the town was bustling with thousands of hopeful prospectors, shops, saloons, and even gambling dens. But like all gold towns, the rush eventually slowed, and what was left behind is what we see today, a perfectly preserved little slice of history frozen in time. Arrowtown isn't just scenic, it's a living memory of a wilder, gold-hungry past.
So currently, we are in Arrowtown. Ignore the music, I've got some Japanese lo-fi on. But we're in Arrowtown because it's on the list and it's a very nice place to be. I've got to say the town is gorgeous. But currently, we are sitting in the middle of nowhere. Well, it's actually not, it's on the edge of Arrowtown, panning for gold. At the minute, I think Sam has found more than me, even though I was the one that was more keen to do this, because this was one of the things that I thought I really want to try. Because something I didn't know is gold is completely fucking abundant in New Zealand. And there's a couple of rules in place, but if you have, this is how mad this is. If you have one of these and one of these, you don't need to put a claim on any land or rivers. You can literally go to a place like this, as long as you use no machines, you can dig for gold to your heart's content, unless I guess that land has been claimed by another party. But you can literally just go to any stream anywhere in New Zealand and just start panning for gold. But you cannot use machines. If you use machines, you need to purchase that claim of land in order to dig for gold. But we've hired our pans from the information centre just up the road, and it was $5 to hire the pan and a little trowel to dig, and then $2 for a little glass jar that you put your little gold findings in. And it's quite good actually. I quite like it. I've always wanted to do gold panning. I did it when I was in California, and now I'm doing it here, and Sam's never done it. It's a very patient game, I must admit. But I think it's definitely worth doing. It is 100% worth doing. And just look at the place as well. Look at this. This is just gorgeous. And then Arrowtown is literally just up there somewhere, and there's walks and hikes and all kinds of stuff. Definitely recommended. But I would say if you're going to come here, do some gold panning. Just enjoy it. You can do lessons as well, or they give you, where is it? Here it is. It's a bit crinkled, but you ready? Hang on. Oh shit. You get this, which is an instruction guide for panning for gold. I didn't think I needed it because I watch a lot of gold programs, so I was just like, I don't fucking need it. But I might have a look just to refine my technique. But yeah, it's good. Definitely check it out. And after this, we're going to go and have some food, I think. So yeah. So it's going to be a quick stop off to see what this place has to offer. Old Town Cromwell is where we're going. fun.
On the way back from Arrowtown, we made one last stop, a quiet little town nestled between the lakes and hills. Cromwell, known for its orchards, vineyards, and big stone fruit signs, Cromwell has a peaceful, sun-soaked charm. We wandered through the historic precinct by the lake with its old buildings and calm water views, the kind of place where time slows down and the fruit tastes better than anywhere else. It wasn't a long stop, but it didn't need to be. Just enough time to take it all in and appreciate how even the smallest detours in New Zealand can feel pretty unforgettable. Once we got back to Queenstown, we had a bit of time to kill, so we took one last stroll through town, just soaking it all in. The buzz of the streets, the golden light hitting the lake, and the quiet excitement of people heading out for the night. There's something about Queenstown in the evening that just feels good. But we had one last thing on the list, the Skyline Gondola. We headed up just as the sun was starting to dip, and the views at the top were honestly, it's hard to describe. Looking out over the whole town, the lake, the mountains stretching off into the distance, it was the perfect way to end the day. Calm, quiet, and absolutely breathtaking.
So we have just stopped off at a place called Tianau on the way to Milford Sound. We've been on the coach for like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Coach tours are good, but holy, are they exhausting. But the plan is to keep going. We're in Milford Sound at the minute. Well, Tianau, sorry. And then we're heading to Milford Sound. But Tianau as a place is fucking gorgeous. It is so good. This actually, I think personally, rivals Lake Taupo, which is one of our other favourite spots. But we're only here for half an hour, fortunately, because it is just a stop off. But yeah, it's really nice. Look at this. And annoyingly, I don't think I can get the drone up because I'm guessing this is going to be a very heavily restricted zone because there is seaplanes and helicopters. So probably no drones, fortunately.
The next day, we ticked off something that's on just about everyone's New Zealand list, Milford Sound. Even though we had the car, we decided to take the coach for this one, and honestly, it was a great call. It meant neither of us had to worry about driving, and the coach made a few scenic stops along the way, places we might have missed if we were behind the wheel. It's easy to overlook excursions when you've got your own transport, but sometimes, just sometimes, they can be the smarter choice. That said, always read the small print. Some tours can sneak in hidden fees or rushed timings, but we booked well and got lucky with a solid setup. The road was stunning, dramatic cliffs, mirror lakes, winding valleys, and the kind of views where everyone on the bus just goes quiet. And this was all before we even reach the Sound.
So we are at a place called Monkey Creek, and apparently I got no ball, so the can has to do. cleanest water you can get because it's straight glacial water. It's good. I just said to Sam though, it tastes thick. I don't know how to explain it.
Milford Sound is often described as one of the most magical places on Earth. Towering cliffs, moss-covered mountains and waterfalls cascading down from every angle. But when we got there, it wasn't quite like that. You see, visiting in the summer means sunshine, which is great for travel, but not so great for waterfalls. With little rain and no snowmelt, most of them had slowed to a trickle, and the boat absolutely packed. Milford Sound is popular and for good reason, but that popularity comes at a cost. We still enjoyed the cruise, drifting between the cliffs and watching the sails back on the rocks, but if I was to do it again, I'd come when it's raining. Sounds crazy, but that's when Milford truly comes alive. Or better yet, I'd hike the surrounding trails, climb high, and look down at the Sound, watching the waterfalls from where they begin, because sometimes the best way to see a place like this is from a different angle. Milford Sound's one of those places that gets called the 8th wonder of the world, and to be fair, once you see it, you kind of get why. Towering cliffs, dramatic waterfalls, seals lounging around like they own the place, and it just looks like a fantasy film set. We booked a coach cruise combo, which I'd actually recommend if you don't fancy driving the 4+ hours from Queenstown yourself. Price wise, you're looking at around about £100 or $200 New Zealand dollar per person, depending on the tour company and whether lunch is included. Some even throw in glass roof coaches or scenic stops along the way, which is ideal if you like your road trips with fewer wrong turns. The cruise itself can last up to 2 hours, and most boats follow the same route from the harbour, out towards the Tasman Sea, then looping back between the cliffs. Some companies use smaller boats which can feel more personal, others go big and pack in as many people as possible, like a floating cinema screen with a roof.
We are on a day cruise thing. We do get food included. We get 1 apple, 2 cookies, a bag of crisps, whatever this thing is, and more importantly, pie. Chicken and mushroom. I don't knock it, usually the pies are pretty good, but this is the view. A mountain with a big black bar in the middle of it being censored. But dip in, I think.
There's usually free tea and coffee, and if you're really lucky, a crew member who will drive the boat directly under a waterfall for fun. Just be warned, if you're coming in the summer, it can get very busy, but even with the crowds, the scenery sort of takes over. It's the kind of place that reminds you of how small you are in the best way possible.
And after an hour's or hour and a half drive or whatever it was, we made it to Wānaka. And this place is actually really nice.
Water's warm.
Is it warm, is it? Wānaka's like one of them places, I said to Sam, that it feels like it gives off very similar vibes as Lake Taupo. The kind of thing we're looking for if we want to move out. Our key factors for moving out here are like, we want somewhere by water, whether it be a lake or the sea, I don't think we really care. And somewhere that's got, you know, a good vibe, not too touristy, but it's still got a bit of excitement about it. Wānaka's like Lake Taupo, but more tourists. Very popular because of the tree, which we're going to go and walk to, I think. And have a look at the Wānaka tree. We're heading there now. So, currently walking to the Wānaka tree, which is there somewhere. I don't know if you can quite see it. But unlike Instagram and TikTok and Facebook and all these influencers, it's not in water, as you can tell. Because look at it. It's all dry. It's the summer. So if you want to get a picture for the gram and be all f***ing influencer, come when it's raining or in the winter when all the mountains have snow, because at the minute everywhere is dry. Let's see if we can enhance. Yeah, it's there somewhere. The Wānaka tree. And funnily enough as well, we were looking at on Google Maps, and on Google Maps it's actually down as hashtag the Wānaka tree. It's a bit odd, but it's already a bit of a crowd around the tree that's dry. But like Sam said, I don't. What's the significance of that tree? Why not one of these trees, or in a tree down there somewhere? Why is it got to be that tree? No doubt I'll do some research on it and get ChatGPT on the case. Probably can't even hear me because it's windy. But we're on our way. We'll get some pictures and do whatever we need to, and then I think the plan is then go get some food, because both of us are rather hungry. And look at this, no sand, disappointingly. Look how dry that shit is, look at that. Fucking hell. It's such a fucking letdown. On the internet's always like, oh my god, you gotta see the tree at Wānaka Lake tree. Why not come to Wānaka for the lake? Look at it, the lake's amazing. It's a bit dry, mind. The lake's amazing. That's all. Look at it, shit. Sam, do something about it. Do something about it. Yeah. Make the tree better. It's famous. I like these trees. These are better. Do you want a picture with the tree? Okay. Like, I've seen a lot better trees in my time. And I've seen a lot of trees. Yeah, I know, but I don't know, it's still pretty. Like, as trees go, it's not great.
The next morning we took a slow drive out to Lake Wānaka, a chance to catch up with some of Sam's friends who live just a stone's throw from the water. It's a stunning spot, calm, open and surrounded by mountains that stretch way off into the distant haze. And of course, the world famous Wānaka tree. You've probably seen it. That lonely tree growing out of the lake with thousands of people lining up to snap a photo of said tree. But when we got there, it was summer. And just like the waterfalls at Milford, the tree looked a little limp. No drama, no magic light, just a twig sticking out of the lake. To me, it's just a tree. But the lake, the town, that's what really stood out. It's got this peaceful, lived-in feel. The kind of place that's easy to imagine staying for a while.
Headed for the riverside around.
So that's it. last day, look at the hair, you know. It's currently the 20th of February, and our last day in New Zealand, unfortunately. But it is going to be a very, very long flight back home. Back to miserable UK. Look at that. Look at this. How amazing is that? Let's do it over here, look. Let's swap over. Might get a better view, look. Yeah, there you go. Ah. So, as just mentioned, it is our last day. My view isn't any better. There we go. It is our last day, and the flight is very long home. And we've got an Uber booked for 8:30 because it is currently, I don't know, I think it's like 7:45. But New Zealand itself, very good. Very, very. I don't want to go home. But unfortunately, I got to. Because, unfortunately, the UK is where I live, which is very miserable. But nonetheless, we are getting a flight back home. And when we get back home, me and Sam are going to have some very important conversations, because there are some places we'd like to live back out here, such as Taupo, as I've mentioned it a million times, and also Wānaka. Funnily enough, Wānaka on the South Island is incredible, apart from the Wānaka tree, which, if you're seeing this, you've probably seen my views on that, because it would be something we've already done, because this is the end of the series. And if you're still watching the series, I appreciate the support, and I appreciate you watching, because it has been a long old watch. And hopefully there will be a couple more videos coming out about New Zealand with the footage I've got, maybe some epic drone stuff. And if you've made it this far, thank you. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.
This really has been the adventure of a lifetime. We've seen some incredible places and done things I don't think perhaps we'll never get the chance to do again. When we first landed in Auckland, I had no idea just how much I'd fall in love with this country. Sure, there's been some moments that didn't quite live up to the hype, but I think it's not a New Zealand thing. I think it's just the world we live in, where social media can oversell everything. But overall, from the big cities to the wild coastlines, from the food and the wildlife to the land and the people, New Zealand has been unforgettable. And the best part, I got to do it with someone I'd do it again with in a heartbeat. Many years ago, I travelled Japan solo, and doing it by yourself is one thing, but sharing this place, this journey with someone, it changes everything. I really hope you've enjoyed the series. It's the first full series I've created here on the channel, and I've done my best to capture New Zealand in a way that does it justice. If you've enjoyed coming along for the ride, your support means the world. Like, share, subscribe, all that kind of good stuff. And hopefully I'll see you in the next adventure. Thanks for watching.